experiencing from the cosmic level, but also here on the planetary level.
It's as above, so below.
I'll show you.
If you know how to read the stars, then all you got to do is watch until you learn how to read how the stars affect what's going on the ground. It's just like everybody know when a full moon happens, some bullshit gonna go down.
And that's real. That's real too.
Up on them full moons.
Yeah,
which made them develop a term called lunacy.
Yeah, because anybody's ever worked in a hospital can tell you about that. That's real. That really happens on full moons.
On full moons, they double up the staff in the ER. Because somebody finna act a fool because they can't control that feminine energy, especially the men. Because he can't control his masculine energy, his feminine energy making crash out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's deep. Shout out to Kelsey LC. Who declares war on their people? Well, we're not their people. The people that declared the war. That's why they did, because we're not their people. Do one of y'all want to?
That's the great illusion right there. Is to make us believe that we part of their victory.
Fact.
We not part of their victory. We not part of America. We not part of none of the stuff they got going on in DC.
Facts.
They just imposing their will on us because they got guns and we don't. That's why they was fighting so hard to ban the right to bear arms. They didn't want to get rid of it for the good old boys. They wanted us to not have a right to bear arms, so they wanted us defenseless. Everywhere where the people who don't have a right to bear arms, the people are defenseless against the tyranny of government. And this is what has kept these suckers from doing a full-fledged lockdown slave system across the land, because there's too many good old boys. Now there's too many good old boys and homeboys with heavy artillery, but the heavy artillery they got ain't nothing compared to what their military got. Their military got secret weapons for quiet war.
Yeah.
You would think that you wanted to shoot your homeboy because he looked like the enemy, and all the time they planted that thought in your head with a projection module. And then you realize, oh, damn, I shot my homeboy. I ain't mean to do that.
Yeah.
I don't turn on man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, how the hell I shoot my homeboy?
Okay, how does because we when we talk about war, excuse me, we really are at war in a lot of different ways. How do we determine or differentiate the different types of attacks and the different types of elements that are being used with war? And when I say that, I mean because you have people out here who are using sound wave technology or frequency, you know what I'm saying, attacks and strategies. They got mind control. You have these devices, the technology can penetrate the mind and the subconscious. So we're being inundated with so many different levels of attacks, right? How do we know, or how can we protect ourselves from a lot of these attacks that are happening in regards to the different types of
we become susceptible to them when we don't know who that voice is in our head talking. You should know your voice in your head. You should know your mama voice in your head, your daddy voice in your head, your sibling. So when you doing something and you hear a voice in the head, that ain't no familiar voice. That ain't me. Right? This is why they keep saying the knowledge of self. Man, know thyself. Because once you know you, even the nature of what's being told to you to do is going against your nature, you're going to be resistant to it.
Facts.
Right? That's like Puffy. You don't send no straight dude to bring down a whole field of sissies.
Right.
You send a freak. Y'all laughing, I'm dead serious. You send a freak to catch a freak.
Right.
I am too. And I'm glad you said that. Real quick, I'm gonna bring this. I started this comment because I wanted to answer this one personally. So I'm not sure who this Mother Tree and Moon is, but they said first time here. Just want to know if this is more FBA crowd or the L or BLM. I get it. It's no disrespect, but this is a crowd of upliftment, empowerment, and we ain't with the bullshit. We here and we ready to do whatever it takes by any means necessary for us to get equality and to get control over all of our collective experiences as a people. That's the type of crowd that you have. So
I
all
don't
that
want
other stuff,
equality. I want my birthright.
Right. We want the
taking shit
land.
back where and putting it back where it rightfully belongs. Let's just put it that way then. But that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with this crowd. Like we don't get tangled up into all that other stuff, but we do share what we need to for the people those who have the ears to hear and those who have the eyes to see. That's who we are. That's who we be. So I'm okay. We can jump back in. I just wanted to address that one because I held it because I did want to address it. But you're right about the Diddy thing because at the end of the day, to me, he seems as if he's just a smaller scale Epstein. So what's the difference between the two?
Epstein was an asset, just like Diddy was an asset.
And what did they do, or did they do anything for them to get flipped?
Yeah. They say Diddy bit the hand that feed him.
And I remember when he did it too. I remember the interview and everything.
Yeah, anytime that you don't want them to have jurisdiction over you, they can't really monetize off your creativity. It's kind of like the same shit that what Tory Lanez is going through, everything that Young Dolph went through, Nipsey Hussle. Anytime you try to break away from the system to where you have full autonomy over your creativity, you cut out the middleman. So there's no other forces or no type of external forces that's getting paid off your creativity. That's why if you're doing anything as far as music or acting, don't when you get that contract, cross out the word actor and artist and put creator. They already know what that means. It gives you full autonomy over your work.
You dropped the jewel with that.
Yeah,
that's real.
Look, the middleman is the only way they can steal from you.
Yep.
The artists normally love the art so much that the business part of it never crossed their mind. That's what made Michael Jackson so dangerous.
And Prince. And Sam Cooke. That's why they waxed Sam Cooke.
And Otis Redding.
Yeah. I heard
the list goes on.
Angie Stone.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Yep.
So anytime like you cut out the middleman, like they can't monetize off of you. So it's like one of those, like you said, it's get down to lay down. It's either you play the game or you break down, you break down the system with truth. And that's why they came after Tory Lanez.
No, Tory Lanez was a fall guy for a reason. Right. Where did the girl get shot?
Was it Miami?
She got shot in her foot.
That's a Masonic. It's the Masonic ritual.
Yeah.
Now, do you mean the location of where they were, like environment, or the body?
No, where was they at? Where did she get shot at on her body?
Oh, okay.
Foot. That was supposedly her foot.
Yeah. So whatever role she was playing, that was her sacrifice to stand firm on her position, his position.
Let me ask you this, Big Chief, because my mind be running a million miles an hour, especially when I be on these calls. So I love the movie Harlem Nights. Does this have anything to do with when Quick was about to get his ass tore up and Big Mama like he shot her in the toe?
You shot me in my pinky toe.
Hey,
listen. Look, is there any kind of correlation there? Because listen, I'll never forget that part, man.
They were showing you old New York life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shooting people in the feet, it means something. And the worst thing to do, they say, is shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Hence that quote. Shoot yourself in the foot.
It's a Masonic code. If he didn't shoot the girl in the foot, who shot her in the foot?
Right.
Her fingerprints wasn't on the gun.
Right.
Or his fingerprint, whatever the hell he is.
Make it make sense.
So it's only one more person.
That was Meg, wasn't it?
There was another woman in the vehicle with him, but
her friend, whatever.
Supposedly she stepped on some glass. That's what she said in the
That
video.
was her original story to the police, that she stepped on glass, but they know gunshot wound from being police.
Right.
And they was like, you ain't stepped on no goddamn glass. Who shot you in the foot? Then the witnesses told who shot her in the foot. But they was on the body cams talking. They was talking to the police. The police was listening to them, taking notes while they was telling the police who shot the shot. They didn't say it was a man. On the scene at the time that it happened.
Right.
This why the boy daddy was going bananas.
Facts. Who you think did it?
I don't know. There's only one option available left.
Right. So for
You know,
this,
so but the question is, why did they throw him to the wolves?
He was supposed to be a sacrifice, right? Or they wanted him to be a sacrifice, if I'm not mistaken.
Why did they sacrifice him?
he made $1 million off NFTs without he cut out the middleman.
Bing, 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 bing. We have a winner. He learned how to make money and make his fans make money with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And put that shit in the public.
Can't put it on Front Street. Can't put it on Front Street.
He already broke contract right there.
Yeah.
He wasn't under contract. That's what made it so bad.
Mm.
He wasn't under contract because didn't nobody want to sign him. Because they didn't believe in what he was trying to do.
Or why would they? Because they're all part of the system. You know, the corporate
Right.
model.
He bypassed the system. He stepped on their toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he stepped on their toes, they shot Megan in the foot.
Oh wow. That's
wait.
You gotta rewind that back.
Yeah, we gotta throw it in reverse. We gotta run that back. And then run it back. Some people didn't. One more time, Big Chief.
If he stepped on their toes, they shot Megan in the foot.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. And it's kind of like the same thing they doing with Yaki. You know what I'm saying? He's been getting a lot of threats. They're trying to stop him from putting out, certain books and doing all these healing retreats and everything. Like, it's the same thing. Anytime you cut out the middleman, you're always going to be a problem because that denotes the fact that you the glitch.
But they also have to put an obstacle in front of you so people can know where you at. It's like raising the flag.
Right.
He over here. He over here.
Right.
You ain't legit until the motherfucker come against you.
And I wanted to talk on that too because I personally have experienced I know it was my little test, but I'm like, fuck y'all niggas. I'm gonna say that again, fuck y'all niggas, because I ain't scared. But anyway, Nick Cannon went through the same thing. Think about it. When he started doing what he was doing, you know what I mean, and like putting out consciousness, and he was working with a lot of the leaders of the conscious community and all that, and then they went for him. And my thing is, I don't know what all that was about from his own internal introspective or internal perspective or intentions, but my thing is this: if you sign up for this life, I'm gonna quote Professor Smalls, you got to know it's freedom or death. So if you're not committed to go all in like that, you probably shouldn't come out here doing this type of work because they will come. And it's like, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Because for me, it is what I'm from the thought of John Jacques Dessalines. Like, nigga, you leave me in the body and let me do my work. Because you fuck around and take me out, I'm really gonna work. So so fuck around and find out if you want to. And that goes back to what you say, Big Chief, about hoodoo, voodoo, like what? Ifa, like whatever you want to talk about. When you talk about the spiritual aspects of all of this is when it really gets deep, because certain people they'll mess with and they'll do whatever they can. And I feel like, unfortunately, some of those people don't have access to different levels of protection. And I feel like that's why they do what they do to certain people and how they do it.
And it's also one of those things where it's kind of like they tap Nick Cannon on the shoulder, because if you notice, ever since he did those lives with Young Pharaoh, he didn't put it on the internet. He did one with Yaki. I don't think he put that on the internet. And it seems like he's being controlled opposition now. And he's being used to surveillance certain people who is, manipulating the system with truth and healing. Anything of that, apparatus.
You know what his struggle was about, right?
What?
He chose to break the dynamic of the nuclear family.
Yep.
Or one man, one woman. They don't want us to know that if we have a sisterhood of women that they like to call a harem,
Mm-hmm.
Sister
our
wives,
power, our internal power
increases
from a group of women loving us,
significantly.
make us so much more creative, artistic, and overall powerful,
Yes, sir.
right? And when we come through, some of us come as a family redeemer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are approached by a rightful heir and they solicit you, that's she in your club.
Mm.
As the family redeemer, you gotta protect her interests like they was your own.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm.
what they don't want you to know about the old systems that they trying to keep us away from. They trying to inhibit the spiritual power that the men get from the women.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
If the women can live in harmony, a sisterhood, they focus all that mitochondrial force to his mitochondria,
Mm.
right? And that's how you empower him to be a great conqueror. He can conquer without ever raising the knife,
Mm-hmm.
just by marrying the right women.
Mm-hmm.
So that
That's
woman
how
should.
King Solomon got so powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Genghis
That's a.
Khan.
The energy of the woman is gonna put that energy in your back. She's gonna put that battery in your back.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the same concept, you know, when you playing football, when you was playing basketball, when you was a little kid, and the girls come in, and then all of a sudden you want to show off your moves or whatever. The same thing takes place when you're trying to build civilizations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You got to
Facts.
impress the matriarch. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Yes.
Taj Mahal is a prime example.
Yep.
Mm.
Prince wanted to stunt for his wife.
Yep.
She was just one of the wives in his harem, but she was the one who had his heart. So he wanted to stunt for her, so he built her the Taj Mahal. She never got to see it finished before she died.
Mm.
So he turned it into her mausoleum.
Mm. Yeah, the
That's
woman
deep.
gonna put that battery in your back for sure. For
Yeah.
you, build sustainable, civilizations.
And even from the ancestral realm, because shout out to the guy
Yeah.
Kasala. He was on last, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, dropping some dope heat in regards to like business and organizations. But he lost his wife. He about to new to her, but and I can still feel the pain and the energy, with him being passionate about doing the work. And I feel like she was the source and the inspiration behind, what I'm saying, him still being convicted and doing the work.
This
So
is why they tell you behind every great man is a great woman,
Mm-hmm.
facts, yes sir.
right? In the street game, you ain't no pimp if you ain't got no bottom hoe,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? She the foundation in which his empire is built.
Facts.
But but in the street gang, he don't choose her. She choose him. He don't turn her out. She turned him out. Go back to the map. Remember that song? I
Mm-hmm.
choose you. That's what they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So the
yeah.
power in the streets, listen, the power in the streets is given to the man to be a purveyor of women.
Right.
The power in the palace is given to the king by the queen and the queen mother. The queen mother is the mother of the king.
Mm-hmm.
The queen is the one that she appointed as his first consort. Right? Once they consummate the power, they activate the magic.
Hmm.
Once the magic is activated, you can't turn back now. Too late, baby. Now it's too late.
Look, listen. Let me ask you this, because this is on topic but off a little bit, but I feel like it fits. So, because this is some real shit too. Like I see a lot about all the people and all the brothers, who talking about polygamy and polyamorous and da da da. I get it. I know that there is a real, true, bona fide, legitimate reason behind why, you know what I'm saying, we would move in that direction. But one of the things that I found, this is from personal conversations with men and women, primarily even more so from the women, is that a lot of the brothers are doing that just to have sex and not doing it for the sake of building legacy, right? But let me ask y'all this, because for
He's not
me,
qualified.
there you go. Because what I was gonna say is, for me, as a young man, from the time I was kicking it with chicks from a young teen, preteen, whatever, all the way till I think I was about 26, 27 before I got into my first real relationship, because I knew I wasn't ready. And I'm not gonna sell you no pipe dreams. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If we're gonna move how we move, let's move how we move. And if you're cool with that, let's get it. If you're not, I respect it. But I was real and I kept it 100 and I told the truth. So with that, it didn't like go against anything for me. Like, it didn't slow me down, it didn't hold me down. If anything, I feel like it worked in my favor, because there was times when females was like, nah, I ain't rocking with that. But then they mess around and keep playing with these slime balls and these scumbags who lying and selling wolf tickets. They're like, well, shit, I might as well rock with him, because at least he keeping it a buck with me. I know what it is, and he real. So it's like, for me, I feel like if you're moving with integrity and you're moving on truth, I feel like it could be successful. But a lot of people not
The
doing that. So
women,
can you?
the women is the one who build the harem.
Mm,
She just send you the sisters of the harem for you to test them and see if she gonna be able to get along with the rest of the sisters and if she gonna be harmonious in the family.
mm,
This is just the story of 1,001 Arabian Nights,
mm.
which the lady was scared that because the princess, every time he got done with a chick, he had her beheaded. So every night she decided to tell him a different story to keep him from beheading her. She would always leave a cliffhanger, right? And say, we'll finish it tomorrow for 1,001 nights.
Look, she became a whole Ronda Rhymes out this thing, boy.
Right. But that's straight game from a women's perspective.
Right.
Because
Because they're the hardest players out
she
there.
learned how to make her presence desired by the crown prince. More so than the other women who he put to death. Whatever they did, they had made him so frustrated that he wanted their head. Now think about women today and say, what type of woman would make me want to take her head? Right? And then it's going to show you one that won't shut up, always accusing you of something, always got negative stuff to say about you, but she supposed to love you.
Right.
Mm, mm,
She a fraud.
mm,
So if she a fraud, you send her to the gallows.
mm.
But the genuine one is going to try to find out, how do I get to this motherfucker heart? I just got to get to his heart. If his heart can see my heart, I'm good.
Mm.
Right? You not finna be at the top of the game and not have a powerhouse of a woman with you, or you not gonna last.
That's facts.
Right? A lot of us, it be our mamas.
Mm-hmm.
It be our mamas pushing us to greatness, or our sisters, our favorite auntie. You know what I'm saying? But then there's a small handful of us, there's daddy's boys. And we gonna do it to prove I got my daddy's genes. I'm cut like Pops. I'm a chip off the old block.
Yep. Divine alignment right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, we know the ancestors, the spirit of the ancestors is always present here, man. That's real. Like, even so much so, I can't remember who it was, but somebody like, shout out to everybody because of wearing black, all black. Like, this is never pre-rehearsed. Not one time have we ever spoke about clothes or any of that. But that just goes to me. It shows the divine alignment. And Big Chief, even the tribute to Malcolm episode that we did, it was like 5 different people on that panel. And I promise the guy, you would have thought we all called each other like, yo, I'm rocking this, I'm rocking that, I'm rocking. No, that's divine a lot. But it looked like we all coordinated. Even the comments was like, y'all like a big happy family. Like, it was like we talked about what we was gonna wear, but we don't. But that's the energy though. Like, when it's divine, it's
Frequency, yeah.
divine. Just go online. That's real.
Yeah, I just put on a t-shirt because I was rushing out the door, go to the barbecue, and I ain't want to wear no wife beater.
Right.
You and me both. Look, I just got home from playing ball, you know, and trying to dust off the old glory days, and I was like, damn, I gotta hurry up, get ready. Let me throw something real quick, throw something together. But that just goes to show, like, real talk, how divine the alignments are, man, and how it all, you know, it flows. You know, when you're in alignment, it flows. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. There's a lot. There's. Whew. Okay, so let me ask y'all this, Brother Rod, because I know me and B-Dell spoke about it earlier before we came on, but me and him didn't really have a lot of information on it. So I'm wondering if you did. But have you heard anything about? I think they found like some ancient alien artifacts or something to do with ancient extraterrestrial aliens or something like that in Tulum. Did you hear anything about that? Tulum, Mexico.
Look, they didn't find so much extraterrestrial stuff in Mexico that's ancient. I don't even know which particular fact you're talking about.
They just found a new crop circle in Mexico too. It looks like an indigenous feather too. It's like it looks like a sun, but it looks like a multitude of indigenous feathers around it.
You said it was in Mexico?
Yeah, supposedly it's in Mexico. Yep.
Was it in a cornfield or a wheat field?
I think it was a wheat field.
Let me see if I can find it real quick too.
Oh, let me go. Let me check.
Let's see. I'm waiting for it now to pull up. But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot. It's a whole lot going on. A whole lot going on. So how does the I know we touched on it, but like how does the strawberry moon symbolize, what was it? You said it was the
it represents the harbinger, is the harbinger of destruction, really transformation.
Okay. Got you. Now, does the new, because there's a summer solstice coming up in a few days too, does any of this kind of tie into like what we're experiencing in regards to all the other activity?
Well, you look at you got the vernal and the autumn equinox and the summer solstice, all those together create the royal arc. So that represents Goma Ars Dabar, which is wisdom, strength, and beauty. So the apex of, the summer solstice represents strength. Strength in the energy of the sun. So this is where we transition into where the sun is at solar maximum, which will hit, around the time of July. Yep.
I sure. Yeah.
But it's in a cornfield. Sorry. Yeah, it's in a cornfield.
No, it's all good.
I had to ask because if it was a message for the tribes, it had to be in a cornfield.
Yeah, I just looked at it now. It's in a cornfield. Yeah.
I'm trying to pull it up. What did you say it looked like, B-Dell? Because I pulled up a bunch of them. I want to make sure I get the right one.
I don't know.
Like a reef?
Yeah, it looks like a circle. It's like a sun, and it's got it looked like the ends of a feather. It's a whole bunch of.
I think I found it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if this is it. I might have found it. I'm gonna screenshot it, and then I got to convert it because the platform won't let me pull it up. Okay, I'm gonna see can I pull that up to convert it into to get it to the stage. But yeah, it's a lot of them crop circles going on too. And even when we were speaking about earlier about communication, right, in regards to like how we're able to communicate if you know Morse codes or the mental nature, or if you know the science or the Odu of E5, like all these they're all different ancient encrypted codes, right? So if I'm not mistaken, as far as my research brings me, these crop circles are also encrypted codes or messages, right, coming from extraterrestrial civilizations or beings. Is that not correct? Or like, what's the purpose or the reasoning for crop circles?
Those are a lot of them are coded messages that's being sent through an energy portal. Right? And the energy portal just so happened to have an electromagnetic wave that could lay the crops down and form the letter, symbol, or a lot of it is Enochian alphabets too, or something similar.
Is that it, B-Dell?
No, that's not it. That looked like a bicentennial symbol.
Okay, I'm gonna see can I find the one you was talking about too.
That look like a bicentennial sigil.
Okay, I'm gonna keep looking too, see if I can find it. But nah, yeah, that's deep. It's real deep. Okay, so excuse me. So where we are right now, right? Where do no? In fact, before I go there, what does the smart cities have to do with this, Beta? I know you just dropped one, I think like a couple of days ago, where you was getting into a lot of this stuff, and you was talking about smart cities. I'm like, how does all that play into what we're experiencing now, and why?
Technocratic sorcery, mass control. That's what they want to use. They want to destabilize humanity, and with chaos and order. So that's why I was saying, and all these afflictions is nothing but Babylonian theatrics. But the end goal is actually the sustainable development goals. Technocratic sorcery. That's all they're doing. Mass surveillance over humanity with the Neuralink. It's really just like a police state on steroids. It's like an ultra-nationalist cybernetic dictatorship. That is their form of a synthetic golden age. Merging humans with machine. That's all.
What is the inspiration behind the over?
You ever see George Jetson?
Yeah.
George Jetson.
Yeah.
George Jetson from the Jetsons cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay. In George Jetson, they in the space age, right?
Yeah.
And when you go inside the house, everything is automated, right?
Yeah.
He could tell the thing to clean the dishes. He could tell the thing to bring the food, what he want to eat. All that's called space age technology. If you look at a smart city and it's designed to be space age technology. The only thing was the fallen regime wanted to use it as space age slavery, but we wanted to go into the golden age, space age, with our autonomy intact, with our rights of self-determination unrestricted, right? For our sovereignty to be respected. But in order to be respected, you got to be respectable. So in the Jetsons, you see the space age story they've been preparing us for. Science, it's a magazine called Popular Science. And they got stories all through the 90s of how they was trying to automate cities. And smart cities is the first wave of space age development in modern times, where the space age technology is put on display in a smart city. Everything that's dealing with computers is called smart. And the smart is a computer acronym. And when you realize that the computer is based on the human brain, you already interfaced with the technology. You just have to be upgraded. Right. That's why your 12-strand DNA became a 2-strand. The upgrade downsizes the bulkiness of the object. We don't have to be 300 feet no more. Yeah, it was giants here. We was them.